Alright everybody, it is Samantha, and I am back for another broadcast, and today I'm going to probably go on a little bit of a rant, honestly, and hit a lot of topics. I was pretty frustrated today, and I was pretty frustrated about happiness, as weird as that is. But it all started with an article that I read this morning. Actually, I think I first read something about it a couple of days ago, but just kind of let it roll off, whatever. And I came across it again this morning, and apparently it's this big trending thing that I just think is absolutely ridiculous. And if you haven't heard of it, it's called being a crunchy mom, which apparently is something that I fit into. So I'm going to read right now off of UrbanDictionary.com the definition for crunchy mom. It says, a member of an increasingly growing group of moms who are neo-hippies. They generally believe, for varying reasons, that there is something bad or less beneficial about buying mainstream products or doing other common activities in the mainstream way. You might be a crunchy mom if you bake your own bread, make your own jam, jelly, pickles, applesauce, whatever, give birth at home by choice, of all things. Oh my goodness. Prefer to teach your children yourself instead of letting the public or private schools do it for you. Growing your own food as much as possible, buying at farmers markets, getting organic. You're usually vegan or vegetarian. Don't use conventional birth control. Prefer natural birth control. Don't wear bras or shoes. Don't use shampoo or soap. Instead, maybe sea salt or a variety of other things. Had your placenta chopped up for an antidepressant pill or smoothie, which I'd never heard of before. Have no television in your home and actually read books for entertainment. Grind your own grain and make your own bread. And cut your own hair. You don't wear pants, you wear skirts instead of pants. And it's just, they're saying that on a spectrum, the extreme far end would be, you would find Amish. And I don't know, I tried to do a little bit of digging, which honestly I didn't get far because, one, I didn't have time, and two, I kind of just got tired of it. But where did this come from? If anybody knows where this came from, if you could comment and let me know, that would be appreciated. But anyways, crunchy mom. I can't tell. There seems to be some people that are really proud of it, and there seems to be, and they wear this term proudly, and there seems to be some negative connotation to it. I can't really tell, and it just confuses me. I don't understand where the term crunchy comes from. I guess it has to do with granola, because if you're like a hippie mom and you believe in natural stuff, you eat granola. Apparently, if you're chewy, you don't. I don't know. The opposite of crunchy would be chewy if you're whatever. But anyways, it got me thinking about labels in general and how people feel like they need to label everything, and how everybody needs to fit in these boxes. And as I was doing some research about this crunchy mom thing, I found this blog about this woman. I actually found a couple, and these women are confused because they're like, there are some things on here that I really agree with, and there are other things that I don't agree with, and they're confused because they want to fit into this category, but they talking to these other crunchy moms, and when it comes to certain issues, and they're completely against some of it, and they don't know where they fit in, and it just drives me absolutely freaking crazy that we just feel like we need to all be on the same page with everything. We are all so different. It's just not going to happen, people. It's not going to happen. We're not all going to think the same. We're not going to be on the same page. It's just not going to happen ever. And that is honestly a freaking beautiful thing. I think I said this before, how boring would it be if we're all the same? It's just, I don't know. I don't understand. It's, people are so afraid to just be themselves, and they want to fit into these categories and fit in with these other people that are in these categories with them so that they can all get along. And if you're not in that category, then you can't be friends or whatever. I don't know. It comes down to, we live in a world of duality, and there's always going to be two sides, if not more, to everything. There's always going to be debate, and it's just, there's science on both sides of every argument, pretty much, especially when it comes to vaccines. Vaccines, it's your choice. It's a very, very heated topic right now, and it comes down to what you feel in your gut is right. And there's scientific evidence on both sides that say why it's really good and why it's really bad. And honestly, if you look in our history, there has been a lot of times where science has just been plain wrong. And it's just, you got to do the best research that you can and look at, one, who's doing the science and who's paying for that science to be done. And just look at as much of the information as you can and make a choice that feels right for you. And don't judge other people for making a choice that's different from yours. It's just so childish and so ridiculous. I did not vaccinate my son, and there's just so much about it that there are times that decision scares me, and there are times that I feel really confident about it. And I go back and forth, but because there's so much fear out there about it. But there's fear on both sides, and there's science on both sides, and it's just, there's a lot of propaganda on both sides too. And I just had to follow my gut. And I know, I don't know anybody else in my family that decided not to vaccinate. I have a lot of, pretty much everybody that's in my life right now, all decide to vaccinate. They look at me like, I'm crazy that I didn't vaccinate my son, but that's my decision. You made your decision, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. All I ask is that, you just do the research and follow your gut. And like I said, there's always going to be two sides to every argument, and it's going to be, black and white, and there's a whole lot of shit ton of gray in there too, and that's once again a beautiful thing. But it's just something that, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on some stuff, people, because we're just never going to be happy. We're never going to be happy and at peace if we just keep nitpicking at each other about these very personal decisions that we have to make through our lives. If you ask somebody what they want most out of life, I think most people, their answer is going to be, I just want to be happy. And they want their family to be happy. But what is happiness? Happiness is so subjective. Actually, just give me a second. I'm going to look up real quick what the definition of happiness is so that I can read it out. Bear with me for a second here. Hello, Google. Happiness definition. Okay, according to the dictionary, happiness is the state of being happy. Synonyms: pleasure, contentment, satisfaction, cheerfulness, merriment, gaiety, joy, joyfulness. There's no, it's all subjective. It is all subjective, and unless we start to enjoy each other's differences, we're just never going to be happy. Not only just enjoying each other's differences, especially when it comes to things like religion, I think parenting and religion actually have a lot in common, because it's just people are so passionate about what their beliefs are when it comes to both of those things, and politics too. And it's just, there's no, like, there's I can't say no, but there's barely any real conversation about the two different sides without an argument, or it just ending in this awkward situation where you don't really get anywhere, because people are so stuck in their mindset, so stuck in their sides, that they're not open to even really listening to other people. And if they get caught in a corner with something, then they just kind of go around in circles chasing their tail, trying to make themselves sound right. But I don't know, it's just ridiculous. I feel like I'm getting a little off topic, but anyways, I wanted to talk about how happiness is subjective, and it seems to me that we just never seem to have enough to be happy. Like, nobody does. There's a lot of people that are searching for certain things. I'll be happy when this, I'll be happy when that. And there's a lot of people that are learning to live in the moment, myself included, and it's so beautiful when you can allow yourself to do that. And it's just, you can be happy with what's going on, no matter where you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter who you're around, and you can just kind of look at the world as this wondrous place through the eyes of a child, and feel like a child yourself, and just be happy. But then it's always surrounded by these just moments of depression and just ridiculousness, because we're just living these lives where we're just constantly chasing something in order to be happy. Even though we have these little moments of happiness, we're constantly searching for something else to kind of just cement it in. And I don't know, it's so sad to me, because it seems like we're just caught in this circle with the way society is right now. And I honestly, I don't know how we're going to get out of it. I've been working on getting out of it myself, but it comes down to money. Everything comes down to money, and you have to make money. You have to pay your bills, but you have to go to a job that you hate to pay the bills and make the money, and then you're depressed because you're at this job all day that you don't like, and you have this little bit of time to spend with your family and do the things that you really enjoy, and you're exhausted all the time, and it's just all about working for somebody else and doing things to help them reach their goals. And I'm talking about companies in particular. There's a lot of people that are going out and working on their own, and I think it's a very beautiful thing. And I guess that's probably what's going to happen, that people are getting sick of it, and it's slowly turning into this entrepreneurship is a really big thing, and people are wanting to do what they love to make a living. Just unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are struggling to do so. But I think that's going to change. I think it is changing, and I think that the next few years are going to be a big step in that direction, as far as people just having enough of being unhappy. We have to let go of the material, though. That's going to be hard for a lot of people. I know that there are some things that I have gotten rid of for material stuff, but there are other things that I look at it, like the TV. We don't have cable or anything, but I look at that TV and I'm like, I really should get rid of that thing. But it's so hard not to. I can't imagine not having it. It's like, oh, what am I going to do if I'm really bored and I don't feel like reading, or I don't feel like doing this? And honestly, it would probably turn into me meditating more, which is what I really need to do. But it's so hard to get rid of those addictions, and that's what we do. We're unhappy and we turn to our addictions. TV is a huge addiction for a lot of people. Sugar is a huge addiction for a lot of people. I know that's a big one for me. I have a bad day, I go on a sugar binge, and You know, it's hard